Hi, Maria. Hi,
Hello, am I the first one today?
you are the first one. How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Oh, I'm a bit busy to finish working on. I'm trying. I find new materials and then I check terms of use, and they are complicated. You can use it like this. You can use it like that.
Okay. All right, I get it.
I had a look for web hosting.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I found a list of uh, providers in Greece.
Mm-hmm.
They say things that I do not understand if they're good or not. Could I send you a photo of, a link of one of them to see the settings they provide?
Yeah, sure. So, you can share that with me, and
I also saw Bluehost, but I didn't see any option about. I mean, it was a page, general page with plans they had, but they didn't mention anything about which Bluehost it is. Like you said, it's Bluehost India. It didn't say anything.
so what happens is that it is bluehost.in. So it is Bluehost India.
That's what it means.
Yeah. So IN is the country code, and country code for India.
Oh,
Okay, so we will discuss about this also, and in the next course about domain names and about domain names and TLD and what is what. We will discuss about all of that.
okay.
Okay. So that is there, but yes, you can always send me if you have any confusion before purchasing anything, especially just if you want to, you can always ask me. Also, what I will do is, although the course starts in a week's time, but I will send you a comparison between the features, basically a list of features that you need to check in for. Okay,
Okay.
so that you can compare which company is giving you which features and what all you need to look out for. So I will do that.
Okay.
Okay, and along with the registration link for the next course, I will send that also.
Okay.
Right. Hi Laura, hi Ella.
Hello, hello.
Hi, hello
Everyone's
Diego.
here today.
So nice, everybody's here.
Hello there.
Hello.
Hi. So, so in today's session, obviously, I do not have anything to share as such, but what we need to talk about is the next course that we are planning to do. And there is, there are a few things that I want to discuss. I'm sorry, somebody's mic is creating some noise. I think Diago's. Okay. So I will just share a few things. All right. So here we are. This is the closing session. You would have got access to this, but there is a course certificate. Okay, the course completion certificate that will be available to you from tomorrow onwards. And before that, you have to complete this course end survey. Okay, so there are two conditions to get the certificate. A, it is available from 28th of June. Second is that you have to complete this activity, course end survey. Okay, after which you can access the certificate. And if you come across any problem or any issues, let me know about that. And apart from that, what I also want to share is about the peer review that you all did this week. So now that I have access to your Google Documents and everybody's done the peer review, I will now review your course details that you have shared, and I will give my feedback now. Okay, so probably today is like Saturday, so you can check it by Tuesday. I should have done the review for all of the courses. Okay, and I think peer review checklist. This is what Diego has not filled in. And
Oh, okay. I thought that after the document reviewed, I have to did it. I misunderstood that.
okay,
I
no,
have to do it after
this is
the peer review.
yeah, the peer review
So,
is done, and you've done the peer review. Now what you need to do is you have to go and do the
survey.
take this peer review checklist. Also, this is a forum which you have to fill in. Okay.
Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, that is what you need to do. And comments, I think Maria has given her feedback. Ella has given the feedback. Laura, I don't think has given any feedback as such. And
feedback for
the peer review, like you've done, Laura has done the review for Maria's course, right?
Yeah.
So
I did the.
Have you added any comments in the document?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I added comment on the checklist.
Yeah, in the checklist at the end, you've added one comment wherein you find everything perfect with Maria's course.
Very kind, but not true.
Except for one.
Yeah, the technology requirements that she has mentioned. Except for
So are we supposed to alter the form, the peer review form?
No, you don't have to alter the peer review forum. The Google document that Maria has shared with you, in that when you check the complete details, you were supposed to give your feedback as comment, you know, wherever you felt that there is something that you could add to the course. So that was the purpose of that. No problem. Now I am going to do that for Maria.
I put it in the checklist.
Yeah, so checklist also, I will share the link for the checklist also in the closing session. I will add the link for the checklist so that everybody can view each other's, comments. So I don't think it should be a problem. As I've seen, everybody's been very kind and everybody's liked each other's work. So you can check that. So that is fine. And what I wanted to talk about was Ella's post and Maria's post for the marketing that you've added. So Ella says the hardest part is gaining credibility for as a teacher. So that is true. You know, when you are going out in a world where there is a lot of anonymity, you do not know who is who. So there will be trust issues, first of all, especially when it is going to be a paid course. So anybody who would, you know, want to invest money, time, and effort, okay, they would want to actually know the person. So how do you gain trust and credibility for as a teacher when you are going to be doing your course online? Is first of all, you need to have a marketing funnel in place. Okay, I'll just talk about that. And you also have to project yourself and portray yourself as exactly what you are. You know, be the authentic self. Today's day and age, you know, you will find a lot of people doing a lot of hustle for marketing just to gain traction from the market, be it in any kind of business. Even teaching has become a business, which is all right. You need to earn money to sustain, that's fine, but it's a very noble profession as we've always known it for. And for that, just be your authentic self. It will probably take some time, but you will get the results at the end. Practically, what all you need to do, I will just share with you few tips. Okay. Then I think I also wanted to check out on Maria's post. Sorry. Maria says, whether we like it or not, marketing is of utmost importance and can define the success of a course. So much so that a mediocre course with a good marketing plan could prove way more successful in terms of outcome for the creator than an excellent course which has not been launched without the right marketing plan. Now, this is very true what you've written, but when we talk about competition, what happens is you will see that there is, you know, there's a lot of competition in online teaching these days, especially since this pandemic happened and lockdown happened all across the globe and people started getting online. Things have changed a lot. Okay. So I personally have come across a lot of, you know, Facebook marketing going on around masterclass, around workshops for teachers and stuff like that, which I do not really think have been worth it. Like if you check the content, if you check the curriculum, they are not worth it. So as you have rightly mentioned, even if it is a mediocre kind of content, be it for a course, entire course, be it for a workshop, summit, things like that, they work really well if you have a fantastic marketing. But it works only once. You know, you will not get the customer back again, ever, if you do not have good content. And and even in the online world, what really works is the word of mouth.
Really?
Now, yes, it does. Now, if I suppose I take your course, I am your student, I have done this course, and probably my colleagues also want to do the same course, I am going to recommend your course to my colleagues, and that is how you will get it. If you completely rely on marketing like Facebook marketing and Google ads marketing and stuff, it's good to be present everywhere. It's good to do a good marketing. It is good to be known in the public, but depending and relying on marketing of these kind will actually not work in the long run. What works is your word of mouth. So, and especially you will have to actually strive really hard to get your first 20 customers, first 20 learners, because you will try, the initial customer is actually the main thing. Why? Because you do not have enough of testimonials to showcase on your website. Who have you worked with? Who are you working with? You do not have enough of feedback from your learners to actually get to know what is it that the learner is expecting out of your course. Suppose you've created your course out of your wisdom. Now, what sells online is very different. It is very popularly said, do not, like when you write blog posts and do vlogs, do not write what you want to write, write what people want to read. Okay, there is a difference. How that is twisted is, suppose I want to write about education in general. I want to write what is education and, certain things. Now, you are like, I have written a blog post out of my own thinking and perspective, right? But people are not interested in knowing that. What is the use? Here is where your skills of storytelling comes in. You will have to manipulate it according to the keywords that are used online for search. Somebody who wants to read about education, what is it that they search for? Incorporate those keywords, and then you will have to revolve around that. This is how things work online. Everything is related to keyword, especially when you're looking at marketing online and keeping things, open for advertisements and stuff on probably Google AdWords or Facebook. So wherever you plan to do it, you will have to revolve around keywords. What is it that people are searching for? Right?
Yes, this is very true. This is true for my book also.
Yeah.
It's,
Right.
They demand, what are the keywords? What are, and I said, why do they need keywords? I mean, it doesn't make sense, but it does.
Yes, it does. So that is exactly how you should write not the content of your course.
No.
That has to be what you want to teach, of course. But the copyright of, the ad copy that you write, that is the content that you will write on the ad that you are going to place. The kind of graphics that you use, the kind of language that you use, everything has to be in sync with what is demanded online, what people are searching for. Even for video tutorials, when you go to YouTube, there are certain keywords that are searched for on YouTube, right? So you will have
How do you find these keywords? I mean, how do you know that people are actually looking for those specific words?
Now, this is like a different topic altogether. This is an in-depth subject of search engine optimization and digital marketing. So digital marketing is an umbrella term, and you have search engine optimization and social media marketing as part of it. Okay. So there are a lot of things that you need to take care of for that. Basically, the success of a website, how you will get traffic on your website so that people come to your website and then they probably check your courses, and somebody would get interested in learning on your website, that is going to be your marketing funnel. That's what I wanted to talk about. Now, you have to decide what is your priority, where does your prospective audience exist, I mean according to your course, okay, who is it for? Suppose Ella, as she said, they are young learners she's looking at, so they would reside at Instagram. Now for Instagram, what kind of marketing strategy have you planned? Okay. And similarly, if you have it on Facebook, or you do not want to have your presence at all on social media platforms, but you still want to market through Google AdWords, maybe, that is another story. So there is going to be a lot of options that you can explore according to your preference. Okay, what you want to do, on what level do you want to connect. Now, considering today's scenario worldwide, things have changed a lot. You know, there was a time when the certificate and the degree had a value. In today's time, it is the skill that has the value. So it does not really matter if you are studying at a very renowned B school or at a very renowned college, and you're doing that course probably online or in the real world. But what matters is what value addition is that course doing to you, you know, and how much value for money are you providing them, right? So even if it is, because at the end of the day, when somebody is going to implement what they are learning from your course, and if they implement it and they find it valuable, that whatever they have learned in your course, again, it's going to be a word of mouth for your company, for your course, that, you know, people can join you. And so that is why I said be your authentic self, even if it is going to be a little bit of struggle initially. Once you have things in place, still just do not rely on these marketing only. You know, there can be different sets of marketing strategies that you can have. So we can discuss all of this in the next course after the website is developed. Because, or you can start it alongside also if you have time, because that will again require a lot of time to make your presence felt on the social media. Suppose you have a Facebook page, for example. I'm just, you know, sharing one strategy that you can have. Suppose you have a Facebook page, that is your business page, and you have one Instagram account linked to your Facebook page. You've been consistently uploading content on Instagram. Now you have X number of followers on Instagram who will also follow you on Facebook. Now what you do is, so this is how you have started off. Right now, you do not have a website. You've just started off with your social media presence. Okay. After a while, now that you see people are interested in your content, now your content is related to what? To the courses that you are going to teach, obviously. Okay. But you are doing value addition properly. Suppose you are teaching vocabulary. Okay. So you share certain tips, 5 tips to improve vocabulary without actually going through the dictionary. Okay. So things like that. You are making relatable content, giving tips and tricks, teaching certain things. So people are, you know, interested. Now you will form, you know, they are going to judge you. like it happens when you are teaching in a school or an institute. Your students are always going to judge you on the knowledge that you have, right? Similarly, here, your audience is going to judge you on what you are sharing. Is it valuable or not? Do you actually know it or not? How much do you know will be judged by the consistency of your content. How consistent are you in uploading your content? I have not been very consistent, to be very honest, because I was, involved into this course creation and other things. I am studying also alongside. So there were a lot of things going on. I have not been very consistent, which is bad for my account. Now, when I will go back to my accounts, I will start posting again. I will have to, give it a boost by adding a lot of content and engaging with my audience somehow. Okay. So that is, whatever hard work I did in the past, that has been nullified because there was a break in between. So consistency is what your audience is going to engage with and what your audience is going to connect to you with for. So that's one thing. Now that your audience is satisfied, okay, I like your page, okay, I like the content that you've been sharing. What will you do? You will pitch in your website. Okay, now you've started off your website and you've written certain blogs. You will pitch in the blog. Suppose you've written a blog on the tips of how to improve your vocabulary, and you have written a short post around that blog for Instagram. You've written that. Now, when your audience is going to view that Instagram post, you are going to direct them to your blog. They go to your blog, they see your website. Finally, when they see your website, they will see host of other options, like you also provide courses, coaching, and various other things. So, or maybe free tutorials that you have, or some interactive activities that you have on your website. So, however you want to engage your audience at this stage for free. Okay. Now that they have been attracted to your website, now you will start promoting your course slowly using AdWords. Okay. Now what will happen is, since your you had your audience coming up, you had traffic on your website, and everything is working fine, that is interconnected. Now, when you start using AdWords, Facebook, Google will already. Hi. Am I audible? Hello?
I lost you at some point.
Yeah, I know, it got reconnected.
Yes, now for a few seconds you were not.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, now it's.
All right. Okay, fine. So now that you have your social media presence everywhere, be it on Facebook or Instagram, now when you will add AdWords, now these search engines, what they will see is that this website already has some traffic on it. Okay, there is like people are visiting this website and everything. So they are going to boost your AdWords, they are going to boost your website otherwise also, and you will get a boost in the ranking of your website as well. the more traffic that you generate on your site, higher will be the DA. DA is the domain authority. How is the domain authority judged? I'm sorry about this. I really don't know why is the internet connection so bad today. So I was talking about the domain authority. Now that your website has got certain domain authority, then you are going to get a better ranking in search results. Okay, so this is a slow and steady process that you will have to go through properly for 6 months, but only if you are consistent with your content and if you are generating traffic on your website, then all this is going to work. Okay, so this is one strategy that you can probably think of. This is although a very long process, but it's very engaging. And what will happen is, like you have, suppose you have some X number of followers on Instagram, they are going to stay with you, even if they take your course or they don't take your course at that point of time. They probably would come back to you later, as per their requirement. But they are going to stay with you, with the content that you are sharing for free of cost. Then you can also check in for alternate sources of income. For example, if you have a YouTube channel, or if you have been posting on Facebook, even the videos on Facebook are monetized now. And so there are, host of options that are available for alternate sources of income. But let me tell you, those cannot be the primary source of income if you're looking for, earning from AdSense, Google AdSense, be it on your website or on your YouTube. It is a very, very difficult process, very tedious process, and you do not earn a lot, okay, unless you have a huge number of followers and you have a huge traffic on your channel. Then yes, you will earn a good amount of money. But with some, because as it is on YouTube, you need to have minimum 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours for you to monetize your channel. Even if you have a channel on YouTube, you've been posting content, people are coming and watching the videos. So within 1 year, you need to have 4,000 watch hours, which is a little difficult in today's time because the competition is too much, and so a better option, at this stage is that you should also think about doing podcasting. This is the in thing. And you start podcasting, you start your podcast on any platform. There are a lot of platforms available, and start it for free. Okay. And then in some time, because now podcasts are also getting monetized, and that is going to be the future as per how things are. Podcasting is going to be a wonderful earning opportunity in coming future. So that's what you can think about incorporating in your courses. And yeah, so that's about this course. Now about the next course, I am setting up the next course. I will share the registration link with you by Wednesday. Okay. Now, today is 27th and we've decided we will start it from 4th of July. 4th of July, we will start the next course. But before that, you should have purchased your web hosting and the domain name. Or do you want the course to begin after that you will purchase?
I prefer to purchase after the course begins.
Okay. Because that's what I thought, if probably you want to share, share something or ask something. But in that case, you will at least have to do your research and check out the options available at your end. I have already shared about web hosting. If you've gone through the previous module 5 live sessions, I talked about the website hosting. So just go through whatever options you can have on at your end. Okay. And probably you will not purchase it, but have it shortlisted, at least 2 or 3 companies that you think from where you would want to purchase your website hosting.
Harshita, I have a question. Can I?
Yes, please.
At the very beginning, you were saying that you were going to give it different options, right? And one thing that you told us that we need to consider is like the back panel.
cPanel.
That is the cPanel as well?
Yeah. I told
Okay,
you
yeah.
about panel.
cPanel.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because that was my doubt, because I was searching in one hosting provider and they had like cPanel, but I didn't see the previous word that I thought you were shared. But okay, now it's clear.
Sorry, I didn't get it. I shared about what?
Yeah, you say at the when you were posting like the initial part of the course before we register, you said that we need to have a domain and the back panel. I read back panel. I don't know why I have that word in mind. So and I wasn't able to find it,
No.
but it's cPanel.
Yes, it is the cPanel.
And I also saw like 3 different options. There was like a basic, like another that was like a standard, and what there was like the Lux. And the last one is the only one that provides like the protocol of security. So that is the one that we should purchase, right? Like
The last one is like what?
the Lux. The deluxe version is a more expensive one, but it's the
Lux.
only one that says, yeah, it's a Lux.
Lux.
Well, I suppose names vary according to the providers.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's like the.
So I will do what? Okay, I will just share it right now itself. Wait. And tell me, do you have a domain name? Have you purchased a domain name?
No yet.
Not yet. And Maria?
No, but while I was searching for providers, I thought I saw that they offer the domain name when you decide to host your website with them.
Yeah, so they will give you offers like they will give you 1 year of domain name free or something like that if you purchase hosting with them, and you also purchase the domain name with them. But these are 2 different procedures. Okay, so you can either opt to have the domain name and hosting from the same company, or you can opt to have it from 2 different companies. Preferably, you should have it from the same company. Why? Because